We're gonna do a quick tutorial on how to put your display bench together. If you ordered it natural, I don't know if you wanted it that color or if you were going to paint and stain it on your own. So I just wanna give you a couple tips. I did not attach the knobs simply because if you ordered it stained, everything's ready to go. Natural, I didn't attach the knobs because it's easier to paint or stain it when everything's disassembled first. So just make sure you don't lose those pieces and you attach them after. I also recommend that you paint or stain the backs of each of your pieces and even the bottom of the bench seat because since there are holes in the front, like those decorative holes, you're gonna see through it. If that's not gonna bother you, don't worry about it, but just be aware. I don't want you to get all done and then realize that you can see through and even the back side of these side pieces. Okay. Let's see. Oh, also another note. The fit for these benches is really tight. I had to make it super tight. Otherwise, when you were trying to put it together, if it was too loose, it was just gonna fall apart. You would need clamps and wood glue, and you'd have to clamp each piece together until the glue set, which takes about 20 minutes to an hour. And I didn't want that. I wanted to make it as user-friendly as I could. So it is a tight fit. You should not need to wrench the pieces anywhere. You don't want to break these slots or these tabs or anything, but you might need to finagle them a little bit. It might take a little bit of finesse before they snap into place. I'm just going to show you how to put it together as a dry fit. Just be aware that if you do want it to be completely permanent, you can always run a bead of wood glue along the tabs before you snap them into place. And like for instance, on this one is glued. So this sucker is not going anywhere. It's set up forever. So the places that I ran the bead of wood glue is I put it on the top of every single tab before I snapped it into place. And then I also, this is the bench seat. I ran it along the back so that it can, once it fit into there, it would stay in place. So just as an option, if you feel like once it's snapped in, if you feel like, oh, this is moving a little bit more than I want, if there's like one or two spots that feel wiggly, you can just put the wood glue in those spots. You can even turn your bench upside down and just run some glue along the bottom inside, and that will help give it some stability. Just make sure, if you're using wood glue, just make sure that you kind of keep it upside down because it does take a little bit for it to dry. Okay, now time to put it together. So we're gonna take this back piece and we're gonna set it aside for now. You are going to take, this is the bench seat. This slot is the front of the bench seat. So you are going to take the decorative part of the bench, and where this tab is, that tab is on the back piece. So I'm just going to snap that into place. I'm gonna set this down so that I can see better. Sorry, I'm trying to not let my head get in the way of the camera, but then I'm sitting too far away to get it into the slot. Okay, so once that is securely in, then I'm going to set it on the side and I'm going to get one of these side pieces. Look at both sides. Whatever side looks like it painted or stained better, then that's on the outside. So make sure that these bottom legs match where the bottom legs are on the front of your bench. And then I'm going to put it into this side. The tab goes into this side slot and then into this top slot. And then I'm just gonna snap that into place. And once it's in there firmly and securely, I'm going to flip it around and do the same thing. Figure out which side is gonna be on the outside, and then make sure that these feet are matching the bench feet so that it's on the ground. One thing I did want to mention, when I was putting together some of the benches, there were a couple times where I thought I got the measurements wrong. I could not get it to fit, and it was really frustrating. And I realized that this corner was barely hitting the corner on this outside. So not only do you need to get it to fit into the slots, you need to make sure that the corner is fitting into the corner of here. Otherwise, it's not gonna go in. So same thing, I'm just going to put it in to that side slot, and then I'm going to put it into the top slot. Then once you have this 3-sided bench, I'm going to take this back piece and I'm just gonna flip it. Let's see if I can do this without getting my head in the camera. Oh, I need to lift this up a little bit so that it's in the camera. And I'm just going to snap it into place. Make sure that you're not pushing down into any like void, like the middle. You don't want to put too much pressure if there's not a solid piece behind it. So at that, yeah. Oh, the back keeps. So this is where I would do wood glue. So as you can see, if I'm going to put this into the back kitchen corner, and then I'm just going to decorate it, it's really not going to move anywhere. This is going to be good enough. You really shouldn't have to worry about it. However, if I'm going to be moving it around in order to decorate, and I'm going to be touching the bench a lot, I would definitely recommend, because as you can see on this bench, oh, that's because I didn't snap the side in very well. You can see that there is a tiny, not very much, but there is a tiny gap. I don't even know if you can see it on the camera. There is a tiny gap back there. So it would be helpful to have some wood glue just to add a little bit of stability, but it is not absolutely necessary. The snap should be tight enough that you don't have to worry about that. If you have any issues at all, please reach out to me and I'm happy to give advice or help in any way.